impartation takes endurance. You can't just do it and move around. Man of God, put here. I want to prophesy tomorrow. Here like you. Hey. 1 Samuel 10 verse number 10. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, Saul, and he prophesied among them. This was a king, he was not a prophet. So he is not a prophet, but because we're now walking together, all of a sudden, he starts going, can I prophesy? He's saying, I receive. Because the reason why God made him a pastor is because that was the plan by God. But because Uebert Angel is not wherever he is, so God wants to use Uebert Angel in a certain location that only he can go. But God says, I made him a pastor, but I need a prophet. So God searches the virus and says, but he moves with a prophet. So I can hook his network. Haka. Shout Haka. Now read verse number 11. Verse number 11 quickly. And it came to pass when all that knew him before time saw. They saw that. Behold, he prophesied among the prophets. And when the people said one to another, what is this that the king that is come unto the son of Kish the king saw also among the prophets? Aye! He saw also among the prophets. That means there was something that happened with Saul. He hacked into a system called spiritual roaming, where you get into someone's network. Catch my network. I said, catch my network. Catch my network. And my network is my net worth. Say, my network is my net worth. Catch my net worth. Have you ever spoken somewhere? Oh, before you speak, they'll say, I think you go to Uebert Angel's church. You don't know why they saw it. You were not wearing the wristband. You had no t-shirt on. But they could tell the network has changed. The network has changed. Sit down. 2 Timothy 4 verse number 5. I wish I could talk to you about the ability to go into my network. Watch thou in all things, endure afflictions. Now he's telling you the terms of spiritual roaming. Endure afflictions. Endure afflictions. Do the work of an evangelist. That means Timothy was not an evangelist, but he was hacking into the system of an evangelist. It says, but there are conditions to the network. There are conditions to the network, because every time you go into another network, the tariffs become higher. I know you're not hearing what I'm saying. So this is spiritual roaming, the power of impartation. What you used to work for, what I worked for 20 years, you're not getting in 1 minute. By just getting into the system. I wish I could talk to you some more. They said, we want somebody to prophesy to us. And said, here is the man who can prophesy. What is his name? Said, it's Elisha. Said, what do you mean Elisha? Said, yes, it is Elisha, the man Elisha himself. Let's go 2 Kings 2:15 to 18. And when the sons of the prophets which were viewed at Jericho saw him, they said, the spirit of Elijah does rest on Elisha. Notice, are you getting it? They did not see him talk about Elijah. They just saw him like this. He said, looks like angel. I just see the resemblance. Even you look in the mirror, you don't see the resemblance. But they said, nah, we found you. We found you. What has happened? They said when they saw the prophet, they said, the spirit of Elijah is on him. The man was just walking like this. The kind of money angel has, it seems like it's coming, it's following this one. It kind of follows this one. All of a sudden, your quality becomes my quality. Your level becomes my level. Sometimes you don't know why you are being fought. Because you hacked into the system. And demons are no longer realizing if it's you or it's me. So the battles I am receiving are the battles you are now receiving. You are receiving battles that are higher than your level. Because you refuse to understand, you are hacked onto the system. Malata kabai. Sir, there is a system. There is a system. There is a time I'm walking. I just know there is an unction of Pastor Chris. I know it. I don't need to be told. I can just walk. Sometimes I have to stop myself while he's talking. Because in that moment I've used almost the words of Pastor Chris. I know. And there are some mannerisms that people write and say, you now copy Pastor Chris. Someone said, you don't do your own thing, Angel, nowadays. You're just copying Pastor Chris. I said, repeat it. He said, oh, you are copying Pastor Chris. I said, oh, I've been trying to do it for 20 years. It means I've succeeded now. I think they were thinking I was going to be so disappointed. My father called me one time. He said, of course, the way you talk. You have to talk like me now. I said, yeah, they have to see, there is a resemblance. He said, on the phone, he said, there is a resemblance. I said, Pastor, it's not a resemblance. I am Pastor Chris. Every DNA, everything in me. Everything in me. Whatever, now what I strive to do is His excellence. His purity is what I'm working on. Do you understand? You can hack into a system.
A good news world with Uebert Angel, provoking a reaction and always worth hearing.